Cast again. This is Frank. I'm the host of the show. We just recorded a review of Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse. So, of course, if you just listen to that one, that had mild spoilers. I don't even think we even got anything that bad. My son cannot keep a secret. He likes to talk about movies, so we've never done this before. So this will be a spoiler-filled review. Not so much review because we already reviewed the movie. You can go back to the episode and listen to it. I'm not going to tell you now. We're just going to basically discuss Spider-Man more. So at this point, if you've listened to the other show, I'm not going to go through the plot again. You know, the plot's pretty self-explanatory, and we just explained it. So please go to that episode first. So what I'm going to let Ethan do, I'll let him take charge because he really wants to do this. He wants to discuss, and I'll say it again, even though it says it right up there on the title. These are going to be spoilers of the movie, including the end of the movie. So if you have not seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, do not watch this or listen to this till after you see the movie. You can listen to the other episode 1, I think it'll be episode 126. That's the spoiler-free review where we talk about the movie and if we liked it. You can listen to that one. This is the one after, so you can call this part 2, whatever you want to do. But this is going to have spoilers, and we're going to talk about the movie, and we're going to talk about everything in the movie that we didn't talk about in the first review, including the end, including things that are revealed here. So consider that your warning. So if you don't want to know, stop it now. Come back later after you watch the film. All right, Ethan. Let's go with the major reveal. Let's kind of work around that because that's easily the probably the most important thing to talk about. Okay.
Which one is this? Like,
oh, you know what? No, okay. No, you know what, Ethan? I'll give you the mic because this is the thing you wanted to do. Talk about whatever you want. You don't even have to tell me. Talk about whatever things you want to talk about. You don't have to ask me if you can talk about it. Like I said, this is the spoiler version. So I'm going to give you the mic. Knock it out.
Okay, I'm very excited to do this. I love spoiling movies. Like, not for the people that don't want to be spoiled, but I just like talking about movies. So, I think my favorite part of the movie is when Miles is trying to get away because if you've seen any other Spider-Man movie, any Spider-Man, their uncle or like one of their family members dies, and so his father was becoming captain, and he was gonna die in 2 days. So he tried to go back and save him, but they tried to stop him. But so when they were going, they told him that he wasn't supposed to be Spider-Man. You see, Spot was a scientist who made the thing that like in the first movie when they have this like dimension that brought all of those people to this dimension, like a bunch of different dimensions with Spider-Man in it. He created it, but for his first test, it brought back a radioactive spider from a different dimension. It bit Miles Morales, but it wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to bite someone from the other universe. And because Miles Morales got bitten, the Peter Parker from that universe that was Spider-Man died because he wasn't supposed to be bitten. So once they explained that, Spider-Man wasn't very happy. So when he found out that he wasn't supposed to be Spider-Man, that he was the first anomaly, because if it wasn't for him, there would be anomalies, and a different universe would have a Spider-Man. Right now, that universe does not have a Spider-Man, and it's not going well. It's bombing, and there's a bunch of villains destroying everything.
All right. So that's the major reveal. About 2/3 of the way through the movie, so the Spider-Man 2099, voiced by Oscar Isaac, and again, I didn't pull up the character name, his particular name in there. He's Hispanic, like Miles Morales. There's a funny scene when they first introduce each other, and Miles speaks to him in Spanish, and the dude's having none of it. But he explains to Miles, because there's a lot of conflict that happens, so he explains to Miles that he's not even supposed to be Spider-Man, and what happened to him. He is what's called, and the movie introduces it earlier on, so there's things called anomalies. So an anomaly is something that happens within any one of these multiverses that throws everything off. And of course they're dangerous because it throws off the timeline of what's supposed to happen in that particular universe. So this group of people that has the 2099 Spider-Man, Gwen, the Spider-Punk, Tess, all those that are fighting in those multiple universes, are one of the main things they're doing is trying to stop these anomalies. And Miles finds out that he's actually one of those anomalies. So that's anomalies. I can't say the word correctly. That's one of the big reveals in the film. And then at that point, it's a chase because they want to keep him from the second reveal here that Ethan didn't get to, which is why he's raising his hand here. I think he's going to talk. The second reveal is, like Ethan alluded to, there's always a death of someone close to Peter Parker and or Spider-Man in every one of these universes. And then, of course, that means for Miles Morales, his father is in danger and his father should be dying. And when it's revealed to him by Spider-Man 2099 that he's an anomaly, he attempts to imprison him there because his father needs to die for the timeline to go correctly. And, of course, Miles doesn't want to do that. And he's not going to allow that to happen. And he's escaping, which is what Ethan was alluding to. And then the chase is on for the last part of the film for Miles to get back to his world so he can save his dad. You can take it from here, Ethan.
Okay, so what I think the coolest part that I thought is that when he went to this machine, so I'm gonna be so they have a machine that sends anomalies back to their original universe, and Miles Morales, aka Spider-Man, was trying to go in it so that he could go back to his universe. It scans the person's DNA and it sends it back to the right universe. But because Miles Morales was bitten from a spider from a different universe, he was sent to the universe with no Spider-Man. And he didn't know that, so he was telling his mom that he was Spider-Man when he got to the universe that wasn't his. And since they didn't have a Spider-Man, she didn't believe him. She's like, "What's Spider-Man?" She's like, and it's just one of those things where you dress up and for your favorite superhero. And then, his uncle walks in, but his uncle is dead and he's confused. So his uncle says, "Let's go," and he says, "Remember the plan?" So he was like, Miles was like, maybe we can review the plan. He was super happy that his uncle was back, but he was also a little bit scared because, as you see in the first movie, he was the Prowler. So then when they got to the top of the roof, and then something attacked him, and it was the Prowler. In this universe, his uncle was not the Prowler, but he did work for the Prowler. And then when the Prowler came to Miles Morales, Miles Morales asked, "Who are you?" And the Prowler revealed himself. The Prowler in that universe, big shocker, was Miles Morales. He was the Prowler.
Yes, so that's the second big reveal. So you have the first reveal of Miles being an actual anomaly, and the second even bigger reveal, which I didn't see coming, was that the Prowler in the universe that Miles ended up in is himself. And there's actually a third reveal. So in the third thing you find out, and you find out before you find out Miles is the Prowler in this universe, in this version of Earth. You also find out in this version of Earth that his father is indeed dead. Miles' dad is indeed dead. So there's a graffiti tribute where in his normal one it's to his uncle, but in this one it's to his father. So obviously in this one his father did die. So that's where they lead. That's where the movie pretty much almost at the end, and then basically the movie is set up for the third film. So in the end, you have Gwen and actually you see the characters from Into the Spiderverse teaming up with her to go find Miles, because now obviously she knows he's in the wrong universe, because she ended up in the wrong universe as well. So she ends up going to team up to go find Miles and get him, and obviously Miles ends up with the end of this film being in trouble.
Can I say for a sec? Actually, sorry, never mind. I was going to say something completely different on accident because I wasn't paying. So what I was going to say, which is wrong, is that she was supposed to go to her that she ended up in the right universe, that Miles Morales universe. But I remember now that they were trying to make her go back to her universe.
Right, they were sending her back. I don't
know, but the thing I don't understand is I don't know why she went to Miles Morales' universe. It doesn't make sense. Why?
You mean at the beginning of the movie?
Yeah, no, at the end. At the end of the movie, when they try to send her back to her home, instead of going to her home, she goes to Miles Morales' home. I
think it was a mistake as well. I think they both got sent to the wrong place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was intentional. But yeah, and Ethan brought this up, which was a great point on the way home, and we're going to have to rewatch it, because there's a lot that goes on in this movie, and once it's available I don't think we're watching a theater again, but when it's for home, Ethan asked a great question: why did Miles end up in the wrong universe at the end of the movie? And that's a good question, because they may have answered and I may have missed it, and I could probably do some research and find out. Now that I've seen the movie, I could probably just pull it up and find out. But it's going to be worth a rewatch. One, because the movie's great and it's worth a rewatch anyway.
like I said, my theory is that since the spider, like when the spider from a different universe bit him, it altered his DNA to become Spider-Man. So I think because it altered the DNA, they were looking for the DNA that when the spider bit him, and since the DNA that the spider had was from a different universe, I think when the spider bit him, since his DNA was different, they went for the DNA that the spider had. So they went to the universe that the spider was originally from.
Okay, we'll find out if that's correct or not, or if he's not even close. I don't know, but he might be right. But anyway, again, if you want to listen to this episode before this one, it's got our review there. Ethan and I both love the film, but you can get our full review, the spoiler-free one over there, if you want to check it out. But again, like I said, check out Spider-Man Across the Universe. It's one of the best movies of the year. Definitely one of the best movies probably of the summer. So definitely check that out. And again, thank you for watching and listening to the Let Me Bend Your Ear podcast. I want to again thank my co-host, Ethan. He was very happy to do the spoiler review. He had never had a chance to do that. He's tired of me telling him not to say stuff. So he was happy to say whatever he wanted. So when he comes on, if it's movies like that, we may just do an extra episode, a little quick one here. We'll wrap this one up.
Oh, I have one more spoiler.
Oh, he can't stop himself. All right, give me another spoiler.
Okay, so he So he wanted to go to a universe where he had a family and a kid. So, in a different universe, he died and his daughter was still living. So what he did was, he switched them out. He went to the universe that him, like in a different universe, died, and he took the place of him. He thought it would be fun, but instead, when he got there, like a few days or weeks after, everyone started disappearing. Like, if you see when Miles Morales enters a different universe, he glitches because it's not his actual universe. So, everyone in that universe starts glitching away, and so does his daughter from that universe.
Whose daughter?
Whose daughter? His daughter, but it's a different universe.
Who's his daughter? Did you say Peter Parker or?
No, not Peter Parker.
The leader.
The leader.
Spider-Man 2, 2099.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a dark Spider-Man. Like, if you've seen I think it's Tobey Maguire. I don't remember which Spider-Man it was. I know.
No, you're talking about Venom. You're talking about that's a different thing.
What do you mean?
The one Tobey Maguire one where it's the black, that's Venom. That's the introduction of Venom.
But no, anyway. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's a different Spider-Man when he tries to save his girlfriend from falling, which dies, and when she falls in a different movie. Mm. And he becomes a dark Spider-Man until the new movie that came out a few I don't know how long it was, but it was so he went back to he used to be dark. He was a dark Spider-Man because he lost his girlfriend, and then after a while he became good again, and he wasn't dark. It's the same thing like this Spider-Man. This Spider-Man is dark, and he's he does anything to do to stop bad guys or And I think they said he's part vampire or something.
Well, they called it that. I think it was more of a joke. Yeah. I think it was more of a joke, but
yeah, because they put some this weird thing inside of him that makes him look weird, vampire-y.
Well, I think they know what you're talking about, and that's another thing I have to look because that might be comic book lore. That to me actually meant, I'm glad you brought that up, that he actually wasn't bitten by a spider. He was injecting himself with that venom. Remember? Because that's what it was. He was taking the gun and injecting the venom to make him Spider-Man. His was not where he got bit by a spider. I think his that's why I think they showed that little clip. I'll double check that as well. That's something I have to research, but that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, he wasn't Spider-Man. He didn't become Spider-Man the way the other ones did by getting bit. So I'll look into that because, like I said, I don't read the comic book, so I'm not sure about Spider-Man 2099. But after we're done with the show, we'll look it up real quick and see.
Can I see for a second?
Yeah.
I think he actually was a vampire because, in the beginning of the movie, they show him making a big face with fangs coming out of his mouth, looking like he's gonna bite someone. And someone sees him, they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm a good guy. Just trust me." Okay. It looked like he was about to bite off his head or something.
All right, so you and I will do some research right after we get off this recording because that's a good question. So maybe we can answer both questions we had. Why Miles ended up in the wrong world at the end of the movie, and if Spider-Man 2099 was bitten or venom that he injects himself, or was he a vampire, or is he actually a vampire? So we'll look into that. Probably people that are watching or listening out here may know that answer, but we'll have to look it up. Like I said, Ethan or I don't read the comic book, so we don't. It may be a very simple answer. It's just one we don't know because we don't have that exposure. So again, Hope you enjoyed our spoiler-filled review or spoiler-filled discussion. It wasn't really a review. The review's in the last episode, just discussing things that we didn't want to spoil for anybody else that hasn't seen it yet. So hopefully after you watch the film, check this out, see what your thoughts are about that. Again, you can email the show at bendyourearpodcast@gmail.com. I forgot to mention the website on the other episode. The website is bendyourear@gmail. Oh no, I was about to say the website about the email. I always get that wrong. The website is letmebendyourear.com. That is the website. If you go there, you can see the links to the YouTube channel. You can also download any episode of the episode. All right. So again, thank you for listening and watching. And like I said, check out our review of Spider-Man, the spoiler-free one. And then I hope you enjoyed the spoiler-filled discussion. And again, we'll be seeing everyone soon with a new movie to review. Take care. Have a